Ooh, spooky. Hello and welcome back. It's time for a war to end all wars. If I can just use it. Yes, there it is.
The war to end all wars redefined how mankind looked at war and the value of human life. Over 19,000 men lost their lives every day in the trenches of the Somme. Some say uselessly, some invoke a higher cause. I read accounts of the slaughter from many journalists who spent time in the trenches, but I found the account of a certain Peter Jacob to be the most horrible of all. His implication about the ancients' involvement with the war was hideous and so obvious. With the horror of the Battle of the Somme scant miles away and the distant echoes of pounding artillery, a young journalist named Peter Jacob researched his latest story from the front lines. His grim task brought him to Oubliette Cathedral,
Great.
now transformed into a field hospital.
Just what we needed. More Oubliette Cathedral.
I find no solace in the purpose behind all the senseless violence that surrounds me. Young men die at a rate unheard of in centuries of warfare. Shelling, machine guns, and mustard gas rip, pierce, and burn their flesh. Men soak gauze in their own urine to stop the insidious gas. The hospitals here cannot cope with the torrent of wounded.
Sure takes a long time to carry a man off. Aha! This is Peter Jacob's life. He has a lucky penny. An old coin marked in a peculiar pattern. Yes, kind of like a spear. Ooh, two-sided coin. That's kind of fancy. Not really, but it is an old game. Relatively old game. It has held sentimental value for someone. Whoever holds this penny will undoubtedly receive good fortune. Doubtful, considering that this man is found within the Somme, the Battle of the Somme, and furthermore into Oubliette Cathedral, and in front of a soldier's letter. If you are just catching on to this series, welcome. We are following the accounts of all of the men and women who are dying in the conflicts of the Battle of Eternal Darkness. There's no way to correctly summarize except that every life that we touch is awful. Anyway, please do check out the back of the series if that's what you're into. I was admitted to the hospital on Tuesday. The damage caused to my legs was slight, but there was no way I could ever walk normally again. I hate this place. Every day I am reminded that I will never be able to do the things that I love. The hospital is a very strange place. Converted from an old cathedral, there seems to be an odd atmosphere around it. Silent, but for the words of the wounded calling out in the night. There's no doubt that it is haunted. What I find most odd about this place is that you never see anyone leave during the day. It's not right. No goodbyes or farewells. It's just an empty bed when you wake. That is curious. This is flash powder. This is a flash pan. More for stunning an enemy than anything. May as well actually equip it. That's not really great form for holding up onto something. You usually want your elbows in. Yeah, this might be a rough chapter for the emulation. I can already tell that that nothing is really quite exactly right. Most of it's quite right. The sound effects of the shelling, though, that doesn't sound like it's holding up especially well. Ooh, look at you. You are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. I thought it was 9, the maximum. Does that mean I'm going to get the newest one in here? Ooh, that would be good. Peter Jacob is not yet implicated into the story, however, until he picks up the Tome of Eternal Darkness. What do you got for me, sir? The guard frowns and ushers Peter away from the organ. He explains that it's one of the few antiques in the region that has so far survived the war, and while he's still alive, it will remain intact. Good man. I bet you're a bad guy. Maybe he will be later. The area is off limits to civilians. You know, this is a whole lot of, like... It's pretty terrible. I know I'm in the middle of a war, perhaps in a much more literal sense than I would like to admit. But how would anybody be able to keep their head and walk around in this kind of thing? What if the windows suddenly just get destroyed and start flooding inside the cathedral or into your mouth? Sealed envelope. Hey, sealed envelope. It looks sealed. Now I got some soldiers' orders. What is it? Private Thompson. Thompson. By order of Mr. Hargraves, on behalf of HRH George V., you are to leave your post of duty and rally in the street outside of Oubliette Cathedral. Further orders will be presented when necessary. God save the king. That seems like a really shitty order. You guys, I know you're safe inside these walls, but go wait outside. That sounds really, really bad. Abruptly, the old guard asks if the guy has clearance. I don't have clearance. I got a flash pan. I'm not about to use it. I have too few charges to justify using it just yet. Although I don't seem to remember that it's immensely useful. Perhaps it will be useful if I really try to apply it properly. The faint sound of moaning emanates from behind the linen walls. Terrible stuff. Well, it is still a war. I think at all times during this chapter we're in the middle of a war and it's not about to stop. I don't suppose this is a Private Thompson, is it? The guard shifts about and awaiting a replacement or perhaps a call to arms. What if? Bloody hell, lad. We must be on the offensive. Following orders, he takes leave of his post. That must have made things very curious way back in the day when you could only communicate a message through letters. Oh god. This looks like a dreadful room. Ooh, but I get a gun. Yeah, I do want the gun. Give me the gun. I figured there would be more screaming. Oh, this looks bad. Yeah, it is bad. I think it's a little curious that I don't know. Nobody seems to go into any detail to describe this part of the game. I mean, where you pick up the Tome of Eternal Darkness. Do each of the characters like just think that it's a hallucination of some kind? Okay, I'm gonna equip you, but I only have 6 bullets. Whoops. Ooh. Okay, no. I don't think I want to deal with you, sir. I don't think I want to deal with you, ma'am. Jesus. Has everybody become an evil person all of a sudden? Ever since that one shell landed? Was that the shell of evil? Huh? There's an enemy in here? I don't want to bother. I only have now 5 bullets. Soldier's letter. I have been here for over a week now, and there's no word when I'll be able to leave. Strange things have happened. At night, the sounds of the hospital change. Echoes of voices that don't belong to anybody haunt the walls and corridors. The restless ghosts, perhaps, or sounds of movement, or whispers. I have seen war firsthand, and the sounds in the night, at night in the hospital, scare me more than I ever thought possible. What is going on in here at night? Why do I feel so threatened? My fears are worsened by the talk of the other young soldiers. One said he had heard cries for help in the middle of the night. Cries that were not only answered by snarls of rage, oh god, not compassion. Another said Lance Corporal Haskell has not been discharged, but has gone missing. I stare at this empty bed with a sense of unholy dread, gnawing at my heart. They didn't really say who it was that wrote that, did they? I mean, the importance of that is limited. Hey, whoa, lady. Jesus. I thought nurses were supposed to help. But, you know, as long as they don't do that sanity thing, I don't have to worry. There's no reason to. I am a little curious, though. The sanity effect from before, is that from downstairs? It must be. How's that pathfinding, ma'am? Not too great, huh? Ha-da-dee-dee. Ha-da-dee-dee-doo. I would really like to have a weapon. A manual weapon. Can I walk away from these guys? Might as well find out, huh? I'm not gonna push the run button, just in case. I mean, these guys are pretty dangerous. Oh, are you an enemy too? Oh man, the emulation's really going bad. Oh, I'm sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. A rifle is now mine. Okay, the slowdown seems to be occurring thanks to all the bad guys that are happening. Okay. We're back to everything being awesome again. We have 2 doors here now. We did not previously have 2 doors. Well, something sounds awful down here. Okay, not really anything's going on over there. That's fine. Ugh. Sounds like there's some kind of unholy battle happening down here. 303 ammo, that must be for the rifle. How insane? No, the guy isn't really all that insane. Okay, I mean, I'll go with it. Ooh, more bullets. It appears that the bellows are still very well intact. The workings of the pipe organ have remained mostly the same since installation. I wonder if if that was what it said before. The first time we saw them. With Mr. Paul Luther. Hey, congratulations to me for being able to remember a name, huh? Whoop! How the hell did that work out? Okay. That's another door, huh? Jeez, this has got doors all over the damn place. And bullets! Perched in this wall is a generator. Open phase fuse box. Fuse seems to be missing. If I remember right, Peter puts the lucky penny in the place of the missing fuse. Fits nicely, but there isn't any power. I'll take that penny back, thank you. Usually a fuse really is just a method for conducting electricity from one point to another. Old, rusty, and faithful? Yes. I like old, rusty, and faithful. Doesn't seem to be anything else in this room, but I can't really tell because of how dark it is. Now, does that... I guess not, eh? There's no, like, switch around here? Yeah, I do want to pull the lever. Maybe the circuit's broken. Maybe it's about time I fix it then. How about I do that? Let's see... you. Okay. Now I need to leave it there. And we'll do a yes. Perfect. We have electricity. Oh, that was a little weird. I wonder if that's just going to make this cathedral a greater target. Now that... God, this sounds awful. Soldier's body is on the floor. He looks like a victim of the cathedral. Okay, which one was it? Was it this one? No? Was it this one? No? Were they clever and did they change the location of the switch? May as well check. Yeah, it seems to me that a cathedral with lights coming out of it might make it a much bigger target for anyone trying to shell a city. Okay, yeah. Now that we have light in here, there appears to be a small hole. Small dog could maybe go through. Is that right? Smell list. You, and I don't think I could make a manta rock. Let's make a red one. Oh, that's curious. Why can't it happen in here? Huh. Let's try it again. Oh, okay. Maybe the runes didn't exactly fit within the room. Okay. I figured that this was supposed to work. Look at you! Okay, so... Body of a soldier, a patient from the hospital. It lies slumped against the door. Trying to hide from the horror, he had barricaded himself inside the room before succumbing to his wounds. Okay. So if I remember right... Yeah. Gotta teleport him out so that he's no longer blocking the door. And then success! I thought he was saying something. I'm sorry. That's why I had that quick delay there. The Circle of Power! The highest amount of magical power I'm going to get in this game. I'm gonna probably enjoy that relatively soon. Okay, well, hey, you know, if I look at the timer, I think this might be a good spot for leaving this episode off. Thank you for joining us, folks. We're going to continue this fine chapter. And in between episodes, I'm going to try to fandangle a couple of those really powerful spells. And then we're going to show them off in the next episode. Stay tuned.